the number one thing that has saved me as a widow over and over and over again after the unexpected passing of my husband is shared passwords. When you have a husband that passes away unexpectedly, you are forced to make all these horrible, hard decisions right off the bat. It's crazy, and I haven't really discussed those, and I plan on trying to dive into that a little bit deeper, because I think those are things that people need to hear and need to be prepared for in the event like something like that happens. April the 9th last year, I lost my husband unexpectedly, and I woke up as a normal day, and that day did not end normal. It ended in my worst nightmare of losing my husband. And so shared password had been a game changer, a life changer for me this past year. And I know it sounds really kind of minor in the scale of things, but we shared passwords. We had a shared note that we shared passwords on. And I will say, on top of that, of not just shared passwords, I have kept his phone. And so for a lot of reasons, I've kept his cell phone. I'm not sure I'll ever get rid of his cell phone. I keep kind of going back and forth, and I'm so glad that I didn't make any immediate decisions to get rid of or shut off his cell phone, because I have a lot of, we weren't just married, he wasn't just my spouse, he was my business partner, and our lives were interwoven in a lot of different things. And so we have a lot of automatic drafts and payments and business passwords and tax things, all the things on that scale versus just kind of like minor things in the home needing passwords, or if I need a text sent with a code to log into something that I can't get into, then I have his phone. So one thing that has been very, very helpful through the loss of Quentin is having that shared passwords. And I wanted to talk about that because I think that could be easily just not talked about. And I don't, honestly, like, someone gave me that advice really early on, like, don't do anything with Quentin's cell phone. I'm not sure I would have anyway, but that advice was given to me because they had experienced a similar loss, not exactly the same loss, but a similar loss where they needed to have that person's cell phone number for a lot of different things. And so I just want to say to you, there's so much that you cannot prepare for, even if you think you're prepared. I mean, we didn't have a situation where, we had talked about all the things, although I've shared with you, Quentin did leave me a note. So I did have that to make decisions based off of, but I didn't have a long drawn out sickness. And I am thankful for that in a lot of ways. But a very sudden, unexpected death is really difficult, not only to, the grief still tricks my brain. But we didn't have all this time to prepare and say, here's where the things were. So it was little conversations along the way that I had to remember. And then our shared passwords note, that's really been a godsend for me this past year, being in the first year of my widowhood journey. It's really helped me to kind of do some of the everyday tasks and big like bill things here in the house that if I wouldn't have had that, I'm not really sure how I would have overcome that or been able to have access. So I know it sounds really minor in the big scale of things, but do yourself a favor. Sit down and talk to your spouse. Talk about what it looks like if something were to happen to either one of you, and have something together where you know that you can tap into to be able to have those resources available. Like passwords, again, sounds so minor in comparison, but it's been a huge game changer in trying to move and take those steps necessary in life, trying to figure this all out as a solo parent and without him by my side. So I want to share that this morning. I don't know why I had that on my heart, but I did. And I thought, you know what? It's kind of weird, right? But passwords, share passwords, and keep that cell phone if you can, and keep it as a functioning number, because you absolutely need it. And for those of you that are want to know a little bit more, I did a blog on the top 3 things that you should be prepared for in the event of an unexpected loss, especially a spouse, because when you're a spouse and you're doing life together and You know, it was a beautiful thing. Our marriage was, he had strengths, I had strengths. We walked in those strengths. We didn't talk about those strengths all the time and what the things that we had done, but we just did them. And it was this beautiful partnership. And when that partner is gone, it's like, wow. It's so incredibly difficult, not just emotionally, but like in every aspect of my life has changed. Every aspect of my life has changed. So I'm learning to give myself grace along the way and trying to figure this parenting and this solo life that I do have. When I've had that partner in crime as my high school sweetheart, I've had him forever, my forever. He's been my forever. But if you're wanting to know the top 3 things, I did blog about that, so you can go check that out, or just comment below widow, and I'll share that information with you. Be glad to. I'm gathering up resources to be able to help me to remember and kind of go back and reflect, but also to help anybody else out there that has gone through something horrific in their life, that especially that's unexpected, because that's kind of my story. And helping you be prepared in the unexpected. I have my mug. It's no coincidence. It says, with God, all things are possible. Very overwhelmed in this May-December of a season of my life without my partner right by my side. But I am reminded that all things are possible with God. So friend, with God, all things are possible. And talk about the unexpected with your spouse. I know it's not something that's fun to talk about, but it's definitely necessary. And make sure you all know each other's passwords.